Hello and welcome to the first episode of Rad & Co. Games and Stuff. At some point, I hope some of my friends will be playing some games with me. We're talking about stuff not related to the game. That's how I got the name. So, as you can probably see, we have baseball. It's going to be our game of the day. However, before I talk about what I'm going to be doing in here, if you are going to record something and you don't know what's going on, why it's not working, computer's seizuring out, you're going to need to go and turn this off right here. So, go into your system settings, turn this off, and then you're good to go. Or I guess turn it on. Doesn't matter. So I tried to figure this out for like 4 days or something, and my computer kept seizuring out on me. So that's what's going on. So I'm going to be playing baseball, and I'm going to be talking about the Legend of Zelda casting. I know, totally random, different things, but that's the point of the show. So, as you may know, Nintendo and Netflix talked for a bit. They're thinking they might do a TV show. Great. Who do we want in it? Well, as far as characters go, I mean, we all know that we're going to have Link, Ganon, Zelda, but it'd be kind of boring to have a TV show with just 3 people. If they could do it, it would just be kind of bad. So, I have Impa, a random old guy, Tingle, Mask Salesman, King of the Gorons, Princess Rutu, Deku Tree, Navi, Funaroba, and some others. And I'm gonna go through them, tell you who I want, and in between I'll probably get distracted and tell you something about the game. What you should play as pitcher. Always play pitcher in baseball games. Usually you want to pitch left-handed. Pitch types. Always have a knuckleball and 4-seam, or in a fastball. It basically makes you a monster to play. And for other stats, pitch speed and control. That's it. That's all you need. And then you can go on to dominate. So that's my little rant about baseball. Other than that, let's get to the Legend of Zelda casting. So, first off, we got the main man himself, Link. Who do you get to play Link? He's got to be a young guy, and I know people are going to be like, well, could be a girl. Makes things awkward. So, my first pick is Colton Haynes. If you don't know who that is, he's from the Arrow. He plays Speedy. Well, not Speedy. That's going to confuse a lot of people. He plays the Red Arrow. In the comics, his nickname is Speedy. I digress. He's really good in that. He's proven that he can do the action with the TV show. They have stunts, and he can pull it off. He's really good at it. Now, if we can't get him because, he's already in a TV show, he already has him in his schedule, I have Shawn Ashmore from the X-Men series. Iceman, basically. He's done, action movies as Iceman. So, I think it'd be a good role for him. Plus, I don't know him out of anything besides that role. Next, it's the big bad, Ganon. Who do you get to play the big bad? Well, you gotta pick from a roster of villains. So first off, we have Charles Dance from the Game of Thrones. Great actor, great classically trained actor, and he already has proven that he can do the whole king, asshole type character that Ganon is perfect for. I have 4 people for this role, so hang on with me here. Secondly, I have Hugo Weaving. Now, people are going to know him from The Matrix. He's Agent Smith. And everyone's going to remember that really awkward laugh thing he does. Don't need that. What we need is him, bald, with that beard. If anything says Ganon, that does. If you have if you go right now, go on to IMDb, bring up a picture of him, and then bring up a picture of Ganon. They look pretty identical, thanks to that beard. So, that's why I have him in here. After that, we have Tony Todd Ron. This was a little bit of an odd choice, I know. Hear me out. He played the Candyman in the Candyman series. Basically, big, tall, scary dude, which Ganon is, So he has that going for him. And he also voiced Darkseid in the recent Lego games. So he has a dark, deep voice, and that's what you need for Ganon. Lastly, but certainly not least, I have Ron Perlman. Now, a lot of people should know who he is. If you don't, he's Hellboy. If you look at his age and how he was playing that role, it's pretty awesome. I mean, he's like, 70, 80? He's super jacked. So, he already has the intimidation thing. I mean, his hair is white, so you can just dye that. Awesome Ganon. He also has that villain voice. So, he's good to go. Now, to get finished off this trifecta of Triforce wielders, Zelda. Who do you get to play Zelda? You don't want some girl that needs to be saved all the time. You don't want that archetype. Because everyone hates that kind of role. So, a couple of good actresses that I've picked. First of all, the first one I have here is one that, when I told my friend I was going to do this list, I said, who should I get to play Zelda? He instantly said this name, and at first I didn't really know, but as she would be really dedicated to the project, I know she could pull it off, and that's Zelda Williams. Her name, yes, is Zelda. So, and she is the son of Robin Williams, and she is named after the character. So, that's why she would be perfect for this. She would be super dedicated, doing it in memory of her dad, all this. She did voice Kuvira in the Last Airbender series. So she has a good voice. Her movies haven't done too well, but that's beside the point. The other one, when I first thought of this, was Anna Sophia Robb from Soul Surfer. Good movie, she's a good actress, and she could totally pull this role off. Now, this one was kind of a no-brainer. I mean, as soon as I was going through a bunch of Zelda characters, and I was like, oh, gotta have Impa. And I was like, oh, I already know who's gonna play her. You have 2 choices, really. I mean, there's probably more, but you really need someone, or a woman, who can play a total badass. Impa's only role is basically to protect Zelda from crazy stuff. And over the course of the TV show, who knows what they're going to be throwing at her. Now, Yes, I did say that Zelda wouldn't need to be saved all the time. Beside the point. So, my first one is Gwendolyn Christie, who plays that, or is from the Game of Thrones. She's the big, tall woman that kicks the dog's ass, or whatever his name is. Is it the Hound? Yes, the Hound. Like, fights the Hound, kills him. Great, badass character. Next is Ming-Na Wen. Probably butchered that name. Beside the point. And she plays Melinda May in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And anyone that has seen the episode where she gets a hold of the Berserker staff knows that she can kick some ass. So either one of these women, perfect for the role. So, moving on from that, we have the random old guy. And yes, that is his name. I don't know if there's some secret Zelda naming thing somewhere on the internet that will tell me what his actual name is. Beside the point. All I know him as is the random old dude. Well, and he is a major player in the early games. You know, he gives Link his sword. He just teleports everywhere, somehow. I think being able to teleport everywhere would be a much more useful ability than a sword. Just saying. But I have 3 guys that could totally pull this off. First up, Alan Alda. If you don't know who that is, watch MASH. He's Hawkeye Pierce, he's great, he's funny. And if you see some of the more dramatic episodes, he can do drama. If you need something more recent that he's been in, The Blacklist, he plays a dramatic role in that. He's great in it. And he's, spoiler, he's dead now. In the series, or in that, show, he's dead. So you can come on and do this one. Be perfect for it. Next we have Earl Cameron. He was in Inception as well as Thunderball. But I don't think anyone remembers anything on Thunderball except Sean Connery in a Speedo. And that image will be burnt into your memory till the day you die. It's a very terrible, disturbing image. Lastly, I have Steve Martin on here. Great, hilarious comedic actor. Hasn't, cheaper by the dozen. Whatever. Trains, Planes, and Automobiles, great. Loved it. So he can do comedy. And that's really what the random old guy should be. It's just, just randomly appears. It's like, hey, Link! Gives him something, and it's poof, gone. Just so everyone's just like, what just happened? Great. Now, if we do get Alan Alda, someone that I really think should be on there, that I think would be great to play opposite of him, and play the old woman, as in the older games they never meet, and it'd be kind of fun to see what they would do with that, will be Loretta Swit. Who is this mysterious actress? Well, for those of you who watched MASH back when it was airing, that's Hot Lips Houlihan. So, they know each other, they would be great to play off each other, and they haven't been in a TV show or a movie for a very long time together. So it'd be great to see it again. So, now it's time to try to cast the little green dude, Tingle. I couldn't think of anybody to play this role. I mean, I've seen some people said, oh, Martin Short should do it. I think that's who they said. Different people said different things. Mostly all the lists I saw that had casting on it, Tingle was on there. And a lot of them, I have to agree with, picked Danny DeVito to play Tingle. Now, I completely agree with that. He would probably be perfect for the role. He looks like Tingle. There's just one problem. I do not want to see Danny DeVito in a green, tight spandex suit. I do not need those nightmares. Just no. If they did get him to play Tingle, just no spandex, please. Now, so getting away from nightmare fuel, I have the Mask Salesman, a different type of nightmare fuel. So there's only one actor that I thought could really nail this, and that's Mark Hamill. Now, for non-Star Wars nerds, he played Luke. But to those of you who are Batman fans, he also voices the Joker in nearly everything. If you look up a voice clip, it's probably him being the Joker. And one of the weirdest things, or creepiest, is when you see him in the voice booth and he's doing the voice of the Joker, and you see his face twist, and it's really weird and creepy, and he could totally do it. I could totally see him going out and playing the Happy Mask Salesman, being creepy as hell, and it would be awesome. And if they can't get him, someone that I think that it would be great to see in there, and just do a short cameo every once in a while, and Nintendo nerds would be like, "Oh, I know who that is," and then have to tell their parents because, well, I would have to tell mine because my parents know nothing. Would be Shigeru Miyamoto. Just have him come on, have him talk to Link, give him a bunny hood or something, and leave. I mean, it would be great to see him in there. And if you've seen pictures of him smiling, his face kind of looks like a mask to begin with. It's very weird. But I'd love to see him in that role. Just for short cameos and, be done with it. So, what else? Well, we got quite a bit left to go. I think we're only halfway through. So, we're going to need some big name people, right? I mean, you can't just have one royal person. I mean, you have the Gorons, you have the Zoras. Took me a second there, but I remembered. So, for the King of the Gorons, I have the Mountain from Game of Thrones. Yeah, I know there's already someone from Game of Thrones, but I'm trying hard to limit this to only like 2 or 3 from everywhere. So, the Mountain is a really big dude. He looks like he could be a Goron. Let's be totally honest here. If you painted that dude brown, he'd look like a Goron. Paint him green, he looks like the Hulk. That's beside the point. So he'd be great in there. I mean, Gorons can speak a different language, so I don't know if he's good at, lines or whatever, but, it'd be great. Have him do that. So, other than him, the only other person I could see kind of doing it is Nick Offerman. Now, if you don't know the name, he's Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec. I actually thought that was his real name for the longest time. But no, his actual name's Nick Offerman. Doesn't matter. Now, I could see him playing the same type of guy as the King of the Gorons. and it'd be great. Maybe a little bit more serious, except for his big dance number that comes after, or when you want to enter his temple or whatever. But I could see him doing that. Can't see the Mountain doing it, though. Although it would be even more hilarious to see him do it. So, who do I want from the Zoras? Well, Princess Rutu. I mean, you're gonna have to CGI the king, because he's a giant blobfish thing. So who do I want to do this? Well, first off, I have Elizabeth Banks. Great actress from the Hunger Games. Strap some fins on her, she's good to go. And she's also done a voice in the Lego movie. So, she has good range. She's done action stuff before. She'd be really great in this role. Just throwing it out there. For a backup, I have Alison Brie from Community. She's the black-haired girl. Yeah. So she would also be great in this. She'd be funny in it, and she could be a good actress. This could be a good role for her to get outside of Community, as I don't know her from anything else but Community. I know she's in Mad Men. Haven't seen it. Sue me. Now I'm going to get to another staple in the game. The almighty Dooku Tree. Which I have always thought of as this deep-voiced character for The Legend of Zelda. So I'm going to save my best one for last this time, and I'm going to go through this. So we have Ving Rhames, probably butchered that, but he played a man called Cobra Bubbles. Yes, that is his name. His last name is Bubbles, and he sounds awesome. And that was in Lilo and Stitch. That was his only voice acting role that I know of. But I mean, that role is actually kind of iconic. Like, that's the only thing I remember from Lilo and Stitch ever, is that character. Next up, we have Christopher Judge, and he played the always iconic Magneto from X-Men Evolution. Great voice actor, but neither of these men can hold a candle to the one, the only, the Dark Lord himself, James Earl Jones. That voice is iconic and would be great. And just if the Dooku Tree told me to do something in his voice, I would do it, no questions asked. So those are my Dooku Tree picks. Now, this is going to be an unpopular character to include on a list for a TV show, as in her game appearance, we all wanted to murder her. But you need someone to hang around Link and point stuff out. Light the path, give him information, whatever. And the best one out of all of them I can think of is Navi. Excuse me. Navi. And I know anyone that watches this has gotten to this far is probably just going to go, ugh, Navi. I don't want to have someone go, hey, listen, for like an hour or half an hour, however long the TV show is going to be. Just shoot me now and get it over with. Alright, fair enough. But let me tell you who's going to voice act her and what they've done. First up is Tara Strong. Now, as not very many people, or at least I don't know very many voice actor names. She plays Harley Quinn in the Batman series, or Batman Arkham games. So, somebody who sounds like Harley Quinn is going to be telling you what to do, or telling Link what to do. I can live with that. I won't want to kill myself every 5 seconds when she talks. Secondly, Jennifer Hale. A lot of people should know this voice as well, as she is the female Shepard voice from Mass Effect. Either one of these, awesome. They would both be great in the role, and I don't think anyone would complain if either one of these two did that voice, and if they wanted to have Navi in there. At least I don't have any complaint about it. Now, we're going to need another couple baddies. And maybe not serious baddies, but it'd be kind of boring to have Ganon go and, what's the evil plot this week? Or what's the evil plot today? That would get really old really quick. So, one of the characters that I picked right off the bat was Twinrova. And I would pronounce their names individually, but I'm terrible at it. They're the Twinrova sisters. So they're twins. And who would you get to play this? Betty White and or Maggie Smith. Both of these actresses are great. Both of them would be hilarious to watch as they do something. They can do dramatic. Betty White chooses not to. But you need kind of like the bumbling sidekick type thing. I'm sure a lot of people are going to disagree, and they're going to be like, we want a Game of Thrones, but more age appropriate. And I'll be like, yeah, fine. And a lot of people aren't going to want all this comedy in there. But, comedy actors are it's usually said that they can do anything. So, also, it'd be pretty hilarious whenever Link sees the Twinrova sisters, if Betty White hit on him the first time. It would be great, and I'm sure everyone would probably go, of course, it's Betty White. So, something like that would be funny. Now, the reason why I said either or either and is because you could have just Betty White play both of them. You could have just Maggie Smith play both of them. Or you can get both of them and believe that they could be sisters. And anyone who hasn't played Ocarina of Time and or Majora's Mask might not know who they are. The Twinrova sisters are Ganon's mom. Or adopted mom, I guess. So it would also be kind of funny to see them talk to Ganon as if he's their kid or something. It'd be hilarious to see it every once in a while. So, continuing on with the need for some funny in here, because I don't see them being able to go serious all the time, because Legend of Zelda has never been serious all the time. There's a guy named Error. There's some comedy in there, some lightheartedness. So, I also have Linebeck as kind of Link's foil, a side character that, we can all kind of laugh at, and we can actually see him develop as time goes on. The problem with Legend of Zelda TV series or movie is that most of the characters can't develop. You have Link, he's the hero. He does heroic stuff all the time. Ganon, he's evil. Zelda probably is going to disappear halfway through the movie, or TV show, I should say. Halfway through the season, and show up as Sheik. Imp as a bodyguard, down the list, they're all very straightforward. This is what I am. Lineback has the rare opportunity to see him develop. Starts out as this big talking coward that you don't know is a coward. Takes the credit for everything from Link. Runs away at the first chance. All that. And they're kind of assholes. He kind of is. Oh, I'm getting attacked? Let me hide somewhere. And leaves Link to fend for himself. But apparently he does, in the game, become a better person. So, the first person that would like to take this role is someone who always plays that, that person that you hate in the movie. Like, he plays the funny guy that partway through, you just hate him. Danny McBride. He's in Pineapple Express and Eastward Bound and Down. What else can you say about him? He needs to do something besides redneck stoner dude that you end up hating. And the other person would be Sacha Baron Cohen. Probably butchered that. And he played Borat. And the Ali G show, and he can do anything. Like, he's a totally serious comedy guy. Basically like Leslie Nielsen does. Says something funny, but says it with such a straight face that it is hilarious. And that would be something that Lineback could do. How could it get any worse? Straight face, and then something terrible happens. And he could also do the same, changing, getting better, becoming an actual character that I could see Danny McBride becoming as well. Next, we have Midna. Now, you don't need to, but I think it'd be an interesting, mid-season thing to do. Go to the Twilly realm, or whatever. Maybe they need their help, whatever. And so this would be a great thing to see. So, who do you get to play Midna? Well, you can go two ways with this. You could pick the kid version that rides on Link as he's a wolf, or you could pick the adult version of her that's the leader, queen person. I don't know, I haven't beat Twilight Princess. I've owned the game for years, never beat it. Sorry. So, I picked, going with the older one, not the kid ridey or dog one. And my first pick was Karen Gillan, who plays Amy Pond in the Doctor Who series. Anyone that's watched the Doctor Who series knows that it goes from, being funny to serious to sad. So they can do the whole gambit. And my backup for this is Marcia Cross. She's done lots of soap operas. She's best known for her roles in Melrose Place and Desperate Housewives. So either one of them could play this role great, and I'd love to see them in these roles. Next, we have Malon, which is probably a weird choice to have as a character on casting, but you're going to need to draw in people that don't know The Legend of Zelda. And the reason I picked Malon to be the one character that's a big star come in and do it is because she can just appear the next episode, You don't have to kill her off or anything. And it's a very important role. she gives Link his horse. Very important. Very, you can do an entire episode with them and then never see them again, not be mad at the show. So, here are my 2 picks. First off, Taylor Swift. No surprise there. I'm pretty sure everyone kind of saw that coming. Or maybe not. But Melon does the singing, or teaches Link a song to call the horse. So, having a singer would be good. So, Taylor Swift was kind of the obvious first choice. One that might weird people out, or might leave people questioning, is my second choice, Miley Cyrus. Probably a weird choice, I know, but she did play Hannah Montana for years. She could just go and redo that role, basically, and it would be fine. So, that's my main casting. One that I think would be hilarious, and would be kind of a meta joke, would be Sean Bean as the soldier in the Potts room. When you first get into the town or the castle, and you go into that door and you break all the pots, and that soldier does nothing. And then lots of people believe that he's the ghost guy that buys ghosts from you. Yeah, make him that dude. Be hilarious. And that's all the casting I have for now. I mean, I'm sure lots of people will tell me that my casting sucked because I didn't include this one character from a game that I didn't even know exist, or I didn't know existed until now. But sorry, sue me. Anyway, if you like the show, don't rate, comment, subscribe, and tell me what game you want me to play next. I've got a huge Xbox library, and I have a couple more episodes to do it. Bye.